Hello everyone, this is honeymaysims and welcome back to my channel for a brand new speed build. If you're new here, hi, welcome in, and if you are a returning viewer, it's so good to see you and I hope you've been well since the last time. So today I am building this retro family home in Del Sol Valley for the hashtag TS4 Back to the 80s save file collab hosted by another simmer called Kev the Builder. If you're on Twitch, you might know of him, amazing simmer and builder, and he also hosts the great Simmish Bake Off every year with other simmers as contestants actually, which is always a good time. And this time, Kev the Builder has brought together a group of simmers and we are renovating Del Sol Valley, Copperdale, Newcrest, and Oasis Springs with 80s inspired builds. So there's a lot of new amazing builds in this save file. I will leave you with a link in the description so you can go check out the save file for yourself if you want to. It's not a pack restricted save file though, so if you play in the save file and you don't have all the required packs, things might disappear or get switched out, so just a heads up about that. But yeah, I'm very excited to be a part of this project and get to work alongside so many other talented people. And we were all allowed to choose our own lots, and I immediately wanted to go for a lot in Del Sol Valley because I absolutely love this little neighborhood here with the 3 lots. And honestly, I wish Del Sol Valley was bigger, like maybe waterfront lots. I feel like I mentioned this a few times before as well, but that would have been so cool to have, you know, along the coast in Del Sol Valley, especially seeing as it's inspired by Los Angeles and Hollywood. I wish I would refresh, get famous with more lots, and maybe even another active career like music artist or modeling or something. Are they actually gonna do that? I highly doubt it. They would probably put it in another pack, but yeah, I love this neighborhood. It's very cozy and suburban. I feel like this lot in particular, I've made quite a few different builds for by now. At least 3 or 4 lots, I think, which is a lot thinking about how many different worlds and lots we have in the game by now. I try my best to switch between the worlds and lots, but I always come back to this one, so I picked it out for the collaboration as well. I can't say for sure that I've ever made an 80s inspired house before in The Sims. It's at least a decade I'm not too familiar with when it comes to architecture or interior design, so I had to do some research beforehand. I think this house might be an early 80s house because it does perhaps give off some 70s or mid-century vibes rather than a late 80s look. So I'm a bit careful with calling it like an accurate representation of an 80s house, but at least I gave it my best shot and I do think this ends up looking retro, at least for both the exterior and the interior. I did use a reference photo for the front of the house, which I'm going to show here for you all. As for the rest, I found a few photos here and there while doing my research. But yeah, I quite like the detail of the extra roof piece and the windows on there. It's like an eye-catching detail, so I messed around with the idea of it in the game for this build. This is going to be a bungalow, by the way. I think that is when the house only has 1 floor. I'm not too sure actually. There might be some other conditions for a house to be defined as a bungalow too. I'll have to check up on that later too. But yeah, I quite like the idea of having only 1 floor house in this neighborhood. Almost all of my previous houses here are only 1 floor tall as well. The same goes for the surrounding houses you see in this neighborhood actually, so maybe that's why I like that here, that it blends in a bit better with the environment. So we are going to have a driveway at the front of the house here, and I'll be using the mural garage door from City Living. I love using that one as an actual garage door, even though it is not functional. I mean, at least you can do graffiti on it, so that's a nice extra activity. In the actual garage space though, it wouldn't be big enough for an actual car in there because I imagine the family living here would have done a renovation and added an extra bedroom, and there's even a staircase going down to a basement, which is technically a laundry room, so they might have not really extended the house but renovated it to fit their needs, like maybe they had another child and they didn't have space for it. So instead of extending the house, they used the garage space, and I think that's a nice little background story there. We're also making a fenced-in backyard for this house because we need some of that privacy in a neighborhood like this. I couldn't resist not adding a pool in the back there, and I thought to myself, weren't curved pools a popular thing back in the day? So to save some time and patience, I found this curved pool on the gallery, like the shape of it, and I used the pool creation tool to line it in. Basically, there's a lot of different varieties of pools on the gallery, so if you'd also like to add something a bit more unique to your build, I'd recommend checking those out. The gallery is literally a pool of cool ideas. Even gallery art is really helpful if you're bored of using the same old pictures in the game, and those are like base game too. And I feel like I always forget to use gallery art, to be honest. You can even get fully grown plants from the gallery, because I do believe if you add one of those debug plants into your house or build, it will go back to its first growth stage and you have to wait for it to bloom basically. But with gallery plants, they come fully bloomed, which I've done a few times for my builds. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things to find on the gallery besides builds and sims. At the moment we are doing the interior here, and of course we need to have a sunken living room or a conversation pit. It's been a while since I've done one of those in The Sims, so this was the perfect opportunity to do one. It might not necessarily be very 80s per se, but I read that they were common from the 50s and to the early 80s. So again, it's more like a mid-century feature, I'd say. And also the kitchen has a lot of these older looking lacquered counters and cabinets, even though the 80s were a lot about bold colors, also pastels and neon colors. But I do think the 80s were a mix of a lot of colors, prints, and just overall interior styles, to be honest, like a mix of everything. That happened to be the case, at least from what I've seen in photos. But yeah, I definitely go for a more muted color scheme for the main areas in this house, with a splash of color here and there. I use a lot of stone and brick on the walls in combination with wood panels. There's also wallpapers with prints, and I can't forget about the carpet flooring. The Pastel Pop Kit carpet floor was very handy in this build, especially for the conversation pit and some of the bedrooms as well. The living room is definitely my favorite room in this house. It's got these big windows, so you get lots of natural light in, and I made this raised platform area just below the windows where you could put your plants and other clutter items. And I went back and forth with the idea if there should even be a staircase up to that platform area and make it into like a stage kind of a situation, but I just couldn't commit to the idea, so I went back to it just being a place for decorations basically. I do end up making a custom fireplace on one of the walls here. Not an actual functional fireplace though, but I made a small room, put a fireplace in there, and I placed a small window. I do believe it's the one from Snowy Escape that looks like you can slide the window open. I thought that was a cool detail for this space, and it sparked my inspiration for the rest of the conversation pit too. And right next to this fireplace area, I customized my own shelves using the tool mod. I used one of the base game shelves, but rotated it using the tool mod, so I could put all kinds of knickknacks on top of the shelves, and also the old box TV from the Basement Treasure kit. I even came up with the idea to use one of the shelf areas as somewhere you would put firewood, and it was a bit tedious to make since I had to copy the same object over and over again and customize it using the tool mod. So I did spend some time doing that, but I do think it ends up looking nice in the end. I used the Dream Home Decorator customizable couch here, or sectionals I think they were called, alongside with a single red and brown lounge chair for your relaxing and book reading over by the bookshelves. And the bookshelves are made out of the book Nook bookshelves plus the Eco Lifestyle side table. So I put these two objects together because I wasn't able to put the actual bookshelves any lower due to the lowered floor or platform, and this side table fit perfectly with its size and color, so why not? I was decorating this on stream over on Twitch, by the way, and we came up with the idea that a celebrity family was living here. This is in Del Valley after all, and I found this Get Famous photo of a race car driver that I put up on the wall above a bar in the dining area. And we imagined that someone living here was a famous race car driver or maybe a retired one, even though you can't actually have that career in The Sims, but it was a fun idea, I thought. And the rest of the dining area will be quite simple and clean with a round brown table. And I also think I put an aquarium up there. So I will leave you with that for now, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the speed build and some cozy background music. I'll talk to you again for the build tour at the end of the video. Enjoy! And here we do have the finished build of the retro family home in Del Valley for the hashtag TS4 Back to the 80s save file collab that I mentioned at the start of the video. I think the front of the house looks very inviting and cozy, you know, with the garden plots and different plants and cacti, the stepping stones up to the entryway and the car parked out front by the garage doors. Also, I love the extra roof piece on top here with the windows. So let me take you on a tour for the rest of the build, starting with the backyard. I would say the backyard is quite spacious in a way, even though we have like this big pool here that is curved. I also added this like running water feature. I think it's actually this item that you can step on top of and like do like jump from it, do a backflip. So it actually has like this running water feature that I absolutely love, and I just implemented it here into like the rocks in the back here. Since we do have a washer and dryer machine on the inside in the basement, actually, that we'll get back to later, I decided to add this clothesline in the back. If you don't want to dip into the water and just want to sunbathe, we got these lounge chairs for you where you can just have a drink, enjoy it. We also got this big round table in the back here with the umbrella, so you can also, eat outside as well. The backyard and the dining area on the inside is connected by this bifold doors. You can also get to the backyard by using this gate here. Going back to the entry, we do have this room here where you can take off your shoes. There's like lots of different clutter and, the things you would probably need in an entryway. Connected to the entryway, we have this very pink bathroom. So as I mentioned earlier as well, like pastels were a big thing in the 80s, and just like overall colors, and definitely like a color themed bathroom. So I decided to go for a pink one here. And continuing from the entryway, we do have the kitchen. So we got lots of these like older looking counters and cabinets that I think would go really well in this family home, like the retro style and everything. So also I tried my best to include, some clutter things that I think a family would have. On this side too, we just have like this side table with this plate here that maybe some of the kids have made when they were younger, and also this more like older looking picture I thought was a nice fit here. Over here we have the dining area. It's very simple looking, I would say. We just have the big round table in the middle here. We got a bar over here, and the the painting that I mentioned earlier with the race car driver is there. And we also have an aquarium over on this side. The living room is definitely one of my favorite spaces in this house. This is the sunken living room, or a conversation pit, if you will. So I made like this custom fireplace in here with the sliding window, and also these custom shelving with lots of books, little other things, and also this firewood section. And also the TV is like going really well with the whole shelving unit here. I used some platforms here to put some flowers and other things. Also the record player, we have a chess table, and also these big bookshelves, and also this armchair where you can read. Over on this side we have the first bedroom, which I thought would be for a teen. They would be very interested in music, both playing instruments and listening to music. So we got lots of posters on the wall, and I feel like it's a very cramped and cluttered room, but it definitely feels like someone is living here, and definitely a teen. Over here we do have the actual garage space. You wouldn't necessarily be able to fit a car in here. I don't think you would fit one at all. But we got lots of other things instead, like the foosball table, the gym equipment, some bikes, other storage space, and also the fuse box and some plumbing. If you follow the staircase from the garage space and down here, we have a basement. So this is where the washing machine and drying machine are, and We also just got some other like clutter. You got the water heater and maybe just like some older things they put down here that they don't need anymore. This is the second bedroom that is also meant for a teen actually. This one also got, you know, lots of colors. It's very blue and pink. Some posters on the wall, some other artwork. You got the pink fluffy carpet on the floor and lots of things on the desk over here. I'm very satisfied with how this entire like unit thing came together here. So we do have some dressers placed next to each other and these like customizable shelving units, I would say. And also this bookshelf here and just some makeup things on the floor here, which I thought would be really realistic. The main bedroom is actually divided into two spaces. So we got the bed here, kind of in like a lowered space with the carpet flooring as well. They got their own TV here and they got an amazing view to the backyard as well. Over here we have just like some other clutter items, some bookshelves. I used the counters here instead of dressers actually. I found this counter and its swatch matched perfectly with this bookshelf from Parenthood, so I just had to use it. Over here though, we do have more of like an office space that the parents maybe would like work in. They've got some more bookshelves. They also got lots of like trophies up on the wall here, and I even fit in a mirror in between here, like the shelf and the dresser here. And last but not least, we have the second bathroom. This is an ensuite to the main bedroom, and this was like a fun little bathroom to do, and it's certainly very different from what I usually do with the bathrooms. So this one I actually put up like some walls here, put in some windows, so it's more like a separated shower space. And I also used a platform here, like I raised it up and put some soaps and towels, and I also put a bathtub into like this space here with the raised platform and a half wall. And yes, this is going to be functional. They can use this bathroom, they can use this bathtub even if there is a half wall here. So that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a follow for more content in the future. If you want to be notified of when I upload a video next, make sure to click the bell icon too. This build is playtested and up on my gallery. My ID is honeymaysims, or you can find me with the hashtag honeymaysims as well. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today as we built this retro home, and I can't wait to talk to you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.